5 characters. A juicy murder in Act 1, unexpected developments in Act 2, town construction, good dialogue, laughs in all the right places, highly commercial.
Well, that's wonderful, darling. I'm so happy for you. For both of us.
Happy? Why on earth happy?
But it's yours, isn't it? It's the idea you had in August.
The idea I had in August has gone the way of the idea I had in June and the idea I had in whenever it was before that. In the fireplace, up the chimney, and out over Fairfield County. Pollution in its most grisly form. This arrived in the mail this morning. It's the property of one Clifford Anderson. He was one of the twerps at the seminar last summer.
Dear Mr. Brule, I hope you don't mind my sending you my play Death Trap, which I finished retyping at 2 o'clock this morning. Since I could not have written it without the guidance and encouragement of you gave me last summer and the inspiration of your own work, I thought it only fitting that you should be the first person to read it. Please excuse the carbon copy. The local Xerox machine is on the fritz, and I couldn't stand the thought of waiting a few more days to send my firstborn child off to its spiritual father. My italics, his emetics. I hope you will write and call as soon as you've read it and let me know if you consider it worthy of submitting to, etc., etc. Son of a bitch even types well.
I think I remember him. Enormously obese, a glandular condition, 400 pounds. I wonder where he got my address.
From the university.
Probably.
Is it really that good? His first play?
It can't miss. A gifted director couldn't even hurt it. Will run for years. The stock and amateur rights will feed and clothe generations of Andersons. Can easily be opened up for a movie. George C. Scott and Lee Bowman.
And Trish Vanderveer.
There's a part in it for her, too. The damn thing is perfect.
I should think you'd be proud that one of your students has written a saleable play.
For the first time in 11 years of marriage, darling, drop dead.
My goodness.
I'm green with envy. I'd like to beat the wretch over the head. With a mace there. Bury him in a 400-pound hole somewhere and send the thing off under my own name. To David Merrick or Hal Prince. Now there's the best idea I've had in ages.
Oh, my poor Sidney.
What's the use of owning a mace if you don't use it once in a while?
You'll get an idea of your own any day now. And it will be a better play than that one.
Don't bet on it. Not that you have any money left to bet with.
We're doing very nicely in that department. Not one creditor beating at the door.
Yes, but for how long? I've just about cleaned you out now, haven't I?
We've cleaned me out, and it's been a joy and delight every step of the way. Your next play will simply have to be a terrific smash.
Oh, thanks. That's just what I need, an easing of the pressure.
Why don't you call it to Merrick's attention? Maybe you could get a commission of some kind.
A finder's fee, you mean?
Well, that's what they call it.
A great and glorious 1%. Maybe 1.5%.
Or better yet, why don't you produce it yourself? Why, you've had enough experience to know how to do it. It might be a beneficial change of pace.
Darling, I may be devious and underhanded enough to be a successful murderer, but not, I think, a Broadway producer. One mustn't overestimate one's talents.
Collaborate with him. Surely there's room for improvement in the play, as good as it is. The professional touch. A little reshaping and sharpening.
That's a possibility.
I'm sure he would jump at the chance to work with you.
We'd split 50-50.
And you get top billing.
Naturally. Reverse alphabetical order, dear boy. It's done all the time.
On the basis of who you are.
Sidney 4 Flops Brule.
Sidney, author of The Murder Game Brule.
Ah, yes, the murder game. I remember that one. Back in the time of King Arthur, wasn't it?
Not quite that long ago.
18 years, love. 18 years, each one flying faster than the one before. Nothing recedes like success. a good one, isn't it? Maybe I can work it in someplace. As a has-been actor who could say it. The C's is EDE, isn't it?
Yes. You see, you would improve it.
Yes, give it that inimitable Sidney Brule flavor. Clothes in Boston.
Call him now. Where does he live?
Up in Milford. You don't like the mace?
No, definitely not. Blood on the carpet. And the next day, Helga Ten Dorp would be picking up the psychic vibration.
In Holland? I doubt it very much.
Sidney, what were you smoking last Friday night when the rest of us were smoking grass? She's taken the McVeigh cottage for 6 months. Paul Wyman is doing a book with her. He was impersonating her for 15 minutes.
I thought he was finally coming out of the closet.
You see what a fine murderer you'd be. Helga Ten Dorp moves in practically on your doorstep and you manage not to notice.
That does give one pause.
Well, it certainly should. Nan and Tom Wesson had her to dinner last week. And she told Tom about his backaches and the money he put into silver and his father's thing for tall women. She told Nan that their au pair girl was going to leave, which she did 2 days later. And she found a set of keys Nan lost in 1969. They were under the clothes dryer.
Is it in the McVeigh cottage?
Right over yonder. Picking up our blips on her radar this minute, most likely.
Well, it seems Mr. Anderson has himself a collaborator.
No.
Not that I really believe in ESP.
Well, the police in Europe seem to. That's half of the reason why she's here. She's supposed to be resting from pointing at murderers.
Wait a minute. The fat one didn't stay the full week, and his name was Quinn, or Quincy. Anderson. I wonder if he's the one with the awful stammer.
One way to find out.
Yeah. This may be a 3-hour conversation. Busy. Probably talking American. What's for dinner?
Salmon.
Again?
Yes. Sidney, would you actually kill someone to have another successful play?
Well, don't be foolish, darling. Of course I would. Spoken in jest, Miss Ten Dorp.
It's Mrs. She's divorced.
No wonder. Who could stay married to a woman with ESP? Well, don't fix me with that basilisk stare. Wouldn't you like to, whatever a basilisk happens to be, wouldn't you like to go into Sardi's again, secure in the knowledge that we won't be seated in the kitchen? Do you know what this play could net its author in today's market? $2 million. And that's not counting the Death Trap t-shirts. That isn't a reasonable motive for murder. I'd like to know what is. I wish you hadn't told me about her. Ah, here we go. Hello, is this Clifford Anderson? Sidney Brule. Not the stammerer. As a matter of fact, I have. I just finished it about 15 minutes ago, and I must tell you with all sincerity that you've got an enormously promising first draft. Yes, I was just saying to my wife, Myra, that if you give it the reshaping it needs, and point it up in the right places, and work in a few laughs, it'll be right up there with Sleuth, the Murder Game, and Dial M. It has the makings, as we say. Oh, I think you would be. Oh, I know that feeling so well. I thought the Murder Game was finished first time around, and then someone with much more experience in the theater took it in hand and revised it with me. Yes, it improved it tremendously, I don't mind admitting. That's George S. Kaufman. Well, hey, he didn't take credit for it, though God knows I urged him to, because he was deeply in debt at the time and didn't want it known he had a share in the royalties. Well, look, Look, I could be quite wrong about this. What sort of reaction have you had from other people? Oh? No one at all? Well, that's very flattering, but surely someone has read it. Your friends, your wife, some of the people at the seminar? Oh, I see. Well, that sounds ideal. Complete isolation, and all you have to do is check the thermostat and water the plants. I'm surprised you've only written one place since July. I'd have tossed off 3 or 4 by now. I am. Yes, a marvelous thriller. Yes, it's about a woman with ESP, based on Helga ten Dorp, you know, the Dutch psychic. Yes, it's called The Frowning Wife. But that's just a working title. I'll have to come up with something much jazzier than that. I love Death Trap, by the way, the title as well as play, or rather, promising first draft. I do. Far too many to give you over the phone. Why don't we get it together sometime and go through the manuscript scene by scene? I'm free this evening, as a matter of fact. Why don't you drive down? It's not far. Oh. Well, why don't you take the train down, and I could pick you up at the Westport station and run you over. That'd be better anyway. You'd have a devil of a time finding us. We're way off in the woods. Have to send up flares when we're expecting people. I'll hold. His car is in for repairs. He's house sitting for a couple in Europe. Unmarried.
Do you think he would be open to the idea of collaborating?
Yes, I think he might be. Was George S. Kaufman alive when the murder game... Yes? Well, that's a bit early. When's the next one? No, that's too late. Let's make it the 7:29 then. And there's an 11 or something from New York that I'm sure will stops at Milford. You won't have any trouble at all in getting back home. Fine, I'll see you at 7:29. Oh, and would you bring the original with you? The carbon is a bit hard on these weary old eyes. Good. See you at 7:29. Oh, and Terrence? You mind if I call you Terrence? Why? Oh my God, I'm sorry, Clifford. I may be a bit late, Clifford. I've got a few errands to run, and so just wait there by the station, and I'll be along eventually in a navy blue Mercedes. Good. Fine. See you then. Bye. I think he's the one without obvious defects.
What errands do you have to run?
Didn't you say something about library books? Picking them up or dropping them off?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I thought you did. The Xerox machine has been fixed, but he wanted to wait a day or two longer in case I had any small suggestions to make. No one else has read it. No one even knows he's working on it.
And no one will see you picking him up.
The thought did cross my mind. I'm so in the habit of planning crimes on paper.
Why did you ask him to bring the original copy?
Well, you heard me. The carbon is a strain. We should have 2 copies to go through. I don't want him leaning over my shoulder for 2 hours, exhaling cheeseburger.
Well, surely he has another carbon copy filed away somewhere.
More than likely. And all his notes, outlines, early drafts. Opening night of my dazzling triumph, his gray-haired mother comes down the aisle, accompanied by the Westport and Milford police departments. Hello? Oh, how are you, Lottie? No, I don't think so. I've got a new idea I'm working on, and I don't want to lose touch with it. It's in the embryo stage. Myra might want to, though. Hold on a second. They're going to the French thing at Fine Arts 2. I could drop you off on the way.
No, I don't want to go. Not tonight.
Myra, Myra will pass too. Yes, she's a bit under the weather. Give us the full report on it tomorrow. Fine. Have fun. Bye-bye. You don't have to stand guard over me, you know. I only kill when the moon is full.
Why did you lie just now? Why didn't you tell her someone was coming to see you?
Is it their business? I don't know why I lied. I'm just a liar.
The moon was full last night. Except for a sliver near the bottom.
Really? Well, she'll just have to exercise massive self-control. And remind myself of that other carbon copy, which most certainly exists.
Sidney, if not for that, would you? Could you?
Probably not. Probably I'd chicken out. Even if he's the tiny one. They say that committing murder on paper siphons off the hostile impulses, and I'm sure that's true. At the same time, though, it opens one to the idea of committing real murder. Gives it that familiar feel of a possibility worth considering. Just as owning a weapon and handling it opens one, however slightly, to the idea of using it. But there's a world of difference between a real victim and a paper one. No, I'm sure Mr. Anderson will go home tonight in the same state of health in which he arrived. Manuscript clutched in tiny, huge, or relatively normal hands.
I'm sure he'll jump at the chance to work with you. And afterwards you'll write a play that's all your own.
I'm sure I shall, sooner or later.
Maybe you could do something based on Helga Tendur, but not call it The Frowning Wife.
The Smiling Wife. A cheerful, up kind of thriller. You know, there could be an idea in this. A playwright is undergoing a dry period is sent a newly hatched play in the mail by a twerp who attended a seminar. That could be a possible opening if the play is obviously commercial and the playwright has a room full of weapons.
Put it in your notebook.
I will. Pity he's got the title Death Trap. Actually, it was built in 1794, but they were out of nines at the hardware store, so I backdated it 10 years.
It's a beautiful house.
Historical Society had kittens.
Hello.
This is Clifford Anderson, dear. My wife, Myra.
Hello. It's a pleasure to meet you.
There you go.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Come in.
Watch your head. You can always tell a authentic colonial by the visitors' bruised foreheads.
I was beginning to worry.
The room you work in?
How did you guess?
Well, the typewriter and all these weapons. Is that the mace that was used to murder his child?
Yes. The dagger from the murder game.
Yeah.
Careful, it's sharp. The trick one was substituted in Act 2.
Oh. In for the kill.
Right.
I can't understand why that play didn't run.
Critics peeing on it might be the answer.
The train must have been late. Was it?
No, Mr. Brule was. The train was on time.
I had to stop for gas, and Frank insisted on fondling the spark plugs.
Do you know that Gunpoint was the first play I ever saw? I had an aunt in New York, and I took the train in one Saturday, by myself, another first. From Hartford. She took me to the matinee. I was 12 years old.
If you're trying to depress me, you've made it.
How? Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
But that's how I got hooked on thrillers.
Angel Street did it for me. Bella, where is that grocery bill, eh? What have you done with it, you poor wretched creature? I was 15.
It sounds like a disease being passed from generation to generation.
It is a disease. Thrilleritis malignus, the fevered pursuit of the one set 5 character moneymaker.
Oh, I'm not pursuing money. Well, not that I wouldn't like to have some, so I could have a place like this to work in. But that's not why I wrote Death Trap.
Well, you're still an early case.
It's not a disease. It's a tradition. A superbly challenging theatrical framework in which every possible variation seems to have been played. Can I conjure up a few new ones? Can I startle an audience that's been on Angel Street, that's witnessed the prosecution, that's dialed in for murder, that's played the murder game?
Lovely speech. Thanks for saving me for last.
Well, I was coming to salute.
I'm glad I stopped you.
So am I. I'm a little euphoric about all that's happening.
As well you should be.
Would you like something to drink?
Well, yes, please. Do you have some ginger ale?
Yes. Sydney, scotch?
No, I believe I'll have ginger ale too.
These aren't all from your place, are they?
No. I haven't written that many. Friends give me things now, and I prowl the antique shops.
Oh, now there's a disease.
Yes, and a super excuse for not working. I got this in Ridgefield the other day. 18th century German. It's beautiful. As you can see, I'm taking very good care of my spiritual child. Lock and key.
I've got the original.
Good. I really should be wearing glasses, but my doctor says the longer I can go without them, the better off I'll be. Here you are. No, there you are, Waldo.
It's not in a binder. For the Xeroxing.
Oh, makes no never mind.
I've got the first draft here, too. There's a scene between Diane and Carlo in Act 1 that I may have been wrong to cut. And the Diane and Richard scene starts earlier, before they know Carlo is back.
Did you do several drafts?
Just the one. It's a mess, but I think you'll be able to decipher it if you'd like to see those two scenes.
Oh, yes, by all means. I had a feeling there was a Diane and the Carlos scene I wasn't seeing. Before the murder?
Yes. I was afraid the act would run too long.
What else have you got in there?
Oh, the outline, which I departed from considerably. I made it the way you suggested, a page per scene, loosely. Then some lines I jotted down and never got to use.
You threw away the ones you did use as you used them.
Yes.
Same way I work.
Oh. Well, everything was just in the one envelope, so I just grabbed it. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, thanks.
It's a 2-hour walk to the station, so I'd leave right after we talked.
2 hours?
Well, I walk longer than that. I'm one writer who's not going to get flabby. You know, I work out with weights every morning. No, I came this close to making the Olympic decathlon team.
Really?
Well, this close.
Well, be careful not to argue with you. I'm on the Olympic sloth team. Gold medal. Fall asleep in any position. Death trap.
Death trap.
Death trap. It will be toasted with more than ginger ale someday if Sidney's right about it. And I'm sure he is.
I hope so. I toasted it with beer the other night.
Oh, we have some. Would you
no,
rather?
thank you. This is fine.
Are you planning to stay in here?
Yes.
Do you think I overdid the set description? All the exact locations for each piece of furniture?
The set description. Oh, I don't remember anything wrong with it. No, this is perfect. Couldn't be better. You certainly do type beautifully. Electric?
No. No, I can't see electric typewriters. If there's a power failure, you can't work.
No, well, that's the whole point in owning one. No, the only problem I find with them, with Zenobia here at any rate, is that you can only get one really decent carbon copy. The second one is so muddy as to be almost
Mr. Anderson,
illegible.
why, Sidney has some wonderful ideas about your play.
Well, I'm sure he does. I'm looking forward to hearing them.
Couldn't you do that in the living room, dear?
There's no good work light in there.
I seem to remember a paisley chair with a light beside it bright enough for the engraving of Bibles on pinheads.
It's too bright. And the chair is too low. I'll be quiet.
Darling, this is Clifford's first play, and I'm the first person to read it. I'm sure you'd prefer our discussion to be private. Wouldn't you? Don't be embarrassed to say so.
No, I don't mind Mrs. Brule being here. In fact, I like it. It makes me feel a little less as if I've been summoned to the principal's office.
Oh, I'm sorry if I awe you.
Well, you do. All those plays and the things you say, I never thought of calling my typewriter anything but Smith Corona.
As long as it answers.
You're welcome to read the play too, Mrs. Brule, if you'd like to.
I would.
I'm curious to know how women are going to react to Diane's decision about the gun.
Sidney told me a little bit about it at dinner, but he stopped at the surprises. I don't even know who kills whom.
Oh, good. You shouldn't. No, I think that was the problem with Murderer's Child, if you'll forgive me for saying so. So from the opening curtain, it was so obvious that Dr. Mannheim was going to bash poor Teddy, it didn't leave any room for doubt. I mean, the audience should suspect, yes, but they shouldn't be absolutely certain, should they? Doesn't that tend to diminish the suspense?
You may have a point. I wish you told me over the phone that you wanted Myra to read it. I would have told you to bring along another carbon copy, and then she could be reading it while we have our talk.
Well, I didn't know she'd be interested. And anyway, I don't have one.
You don't have another carbon copy?
Well, I thought I'd be Xeroxing the original as soon as I was through.
Oh, yes, of course. No need for 2 or 3 in the age of Xerox, is there?
She can read this one and we can pass the pages back and forth. Or I could sit next to you.
Wait, let me think. I want to think for a minute.
Mr. Anderson, Sidney is just bursting with creative ideas about your play. Why, I have never seen him so enthusiastic. Well, he gets plays in the mail all the time. Finished plays, ready for production, supposedly. From his agent, from producers, from aspiring playwrights. And usually he just laughs and sneers and says the most disparaging things you could possibly imagine. I'm sure he could improve your play tremendously. Why, he could turn it into a hit that would run for years and years and make more than enough money for everyone concerned.
Is this what you meant by, I'll be quiet?
I won't be quiet. I'm going to say something that has been on my mind ever since your phone conversation. It is very wrong of you to expect Sidney to give you the fruit of his years of experience, his hard-won knowledge, without any quid pro quo, as if the seminar was still in session.
Well, he offered to give me a few
And it was
suggestions.
very wrong of you to have offered to give it to him. I am the one in this household whose feet are on the ground and whose eye is on the checkbook. Now, I'm going to make a suggestion to you, Sidney. It's going to come as a shock to you, but I would like you to give it your grave and thoughtful and earnest consideration. Will you do that? Will you promise to do that for me? Put aside the play that you're working on. Yes, put aside the play about Helga Tendorf and how she finds murderers and keys under clothes dryers. Put it aside, Sidney, and help Mr. Anderson with his play. Collaborate with him. Yes, that's what I'm suggesting. That's what I think is the fair and sensible and rational thing to do in this situation. Death Trap by Clifford Anderson and Sidney Brule. Unless, of course, Mr. Anderson feels that in deference to your age and reputation, it should be the other way around.
Wow, that is a shocker, Myra. Put aside the drowning wife?
I thought it was frowning.
Frowning? What kind of a title would that be? Oh, the drowning wife is what I'm calling it at the moment. It has these women's lib overtones, plus the ESP. It's such a timely play.
It will keep, Sidney. Everyone is always interested in psychics who can point at someone and say, "Why, that man murdered that man." Put it aside, Sidney. Do for Mr. Anderson what George S. Kaufman did for you.
Oh, that's very persuasive, Myra. How does it grab you?
Oh, wow. I suddenly feel as if I'm on the spot.
You are. Myra's put you there. Put us both there.
Well, I felt something should be said before anything else was done.
Yes, you were right. You were quite right. What's your reaction, Clifford?
Well, First of all, I'm overwhelmed. Really honored and staggered that Sidney Brule would even consider the idea of putting aside one of his own plays to work with me on mine. I mean, there I was, sitting in that theater when I was 12 years old, and who would think someday I'd be standing here waiting for the chance
Yes,
to
we
work
get the gist of this passage.
Well, it's a golden opportunity I'm sure I ought to seize with both hands.
Yes, you should.
But the thing is, it's as if I went to a doctor, one of the world's leading specialists, and he recommended surgery. Well, even with my respect for his eminence and his experience, I would still want to get a second opinion, wouldn't I? I'm sure your ideas are terrific, but you're right, Mrs. Brule. It wouldn't be fair for me to hear them now without some sort of arrangement or understanding. And to be perfectly honest, right now, without having heard them, I feel the death trap is very good as it is. Not perfect, certainly. I guess it could still use a little fine-tuning. But I'm not sure it needs surgery. What I ought to do, I think, is Xerox a few copies tomorrow morning and send them off to some of those agents you recommended to us. If they say, too, that it needs major rewriting, then I'll be coming back here begging you to do what Mrs. Brule suggested, and I'll be waiting to make whatever arrangement you think is right. The same one you had with Mr. Kaufman, I guess. I hope I haven't offended you.
No, not at all.
Mr. Anderson, please. Agents know about contracts, but they certainly don't know what's saleable.
Don't, Myra! Don't beg him. He'll think he has the wealth of the Indies here, and we're Mr. and Mrs. Jean Lapointe.
No, I would never think anything like that, Mr. Brule. I'm grateful that you're willing to go out of your way to help me.
But I'm not. Now that I've had a moment to consider the matter, I would never put aside a play as timely and inventive as The Drowning Wife to do wet nurse work on one as speculative as Death Trap. Do sit down, Myra. You're making me nervous standing there hyperventilating. Do as you said. Show it to a few agents, and if you still feel that major rewrites are necessary, get in touch. Who knows? I might hit a snag. It's happened once or twice.
Thank you, I will.
Though I doubt it very much. I've got it completely outlined, and I'm more than halfway done. And I got a new play ready to go next, based on the life of Harry Houdini.
Oh?
Yes, magic is very in now. Look at the success of the magic show. Houdini's always been an idol of mine. These are a pair of his handcuffs.
Sidney!
Relax, Myra. Clifford's not the sort of man who would steal someone else's idea. You wouldn't do that, would you?
No, of course not.
See? No cause for alarm. His heart is far from fraud as heaven from earth. Remarkable man, Houdini. He made all his own magical apparatus. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Magnificent craftsmanship. Have a look.
Sidney, please.
Sit down, Myra.
I beg of you, think.
He's an honest young man. Now, will you stop being so all-fired suspicious of everyone who comes through that door? We had a rather nasty experience a few years back with a plagiaristic playwright, whose name I won't mention since he's gone to his maker. We called for repairs. Ever since then, Myra becomes alarmed if I so much as tell a fellow writer the language I'm working in. Don't take it personally.
Oh, no.
Have a good look at those. They're quite remarkable. They look so old, but they're made to, and apparently solid and escape-proof.
They certainly seem that way.
Be my guest.
You mean put them on?
Yes, that's what I mean. You're holding my prized pair of $1,200 Houdini handcuffs, and I say, be my guest, put them on.
$1,200?
Now turn your wrists like that. Press and pull. No, you're not doing it right. It has to be all in one quick motion. Try it again. And turn, press, pull, all at once.
No, they're not opening.
Well, they did for me yesterday morning. It's certainly not a question of they're not being oiled.
I guess I'm just not Houdini.
Well, that's all right. I've got the key here. Somewhere. Don't go on fussing with them. You're liable to ruin them. Sorry. Key. Where are you, key?
Do you know, this could be a good thriller. It could, I mean it.
How so?
Well, a young playwright sends his first play to an older playwright who conducted a seminar that the young playwright attended. No one else has read it, and then he comes to visit the older playwright to get some ideas for rewrites, and he brings along his original copy and all his notes and everything. Of course, you'd have to have the Xerox machine breaking down to explain why there are only 2 copies. And the play would have to be a very good one. The one the young playwright wrote, I mean. And the older playwright would have to have not very much going for him at the time.
An enormous concatenation of unlikely circumstances, don't you?
Yes, maybe. But we've almost got it here, haven't we? The only difference is you have the Houdini play and the drowning wife. And Death Trap probably isn't worth killing for. But nobody even saw me getting into your car.
There you are. You've got your second play problem licked.
Well, I think it could be turned into something fairly interesting. What do you think, Mrs. Brule?
I don't like it. It frightens me.
I wonder if I could have put it up here somewhere.
Oh, I forgot to mention. I should be getting a telephone call here any minute now. See, there's this girl who's coming to see me at 8:30. That's around what it is now, isn't it? And I couldn't reach her before I left, so I left a note in the hall mirror telling her where I am and giving the number. So she can call and find out what train I'll be taking back. So she can pick me up at the station. 1 2-hour walk per day is just about enough for me. So I hope you find the key soon, or else you're going to have to hold the phone for me.
How is she going to get in to read the note?
She has a key.
Not a very conscientious house sitter, are you?
She's honest.
You said in the car that you didn't know anyone in Milford except a few tradespeople.
She's from Hartford. Her name is Marietta Konofsky. She teaches at Quirk Middle School, phys ed.
How did you get the number? It's not listed.
They gave it to me at the university, along with the address. I'm friendly with Mrs. Beecham there.
Beecham?
Short, red-haired lady with the eye shade.
Well, I hope she gave you the right number. We had it changed a few weeks back. An obscene phone caller was boring us, and I neglected to notify old you of Khan. What number did you give to Ms. Konofsky?
I don't remember it.
226-3049 or 226-5457?
The first one. 3049.
The new number. I must have notified the university and clean forgot about it. How strange and how untypical of me.
Would you go on looking for the key, please?
Certainly.
Oh, my heart won't take it.
Won't take what, darling? Am I finding the key? I do believe the 2 of you thought I was going to grab the mace and do a Dr. Monheim. Clifford, is that why you've withdrawn so far upstage?
Well, you can't write a play like that and not have a mind that envisions possibility.
True, very true. I'm slightly paranoid myself. What's your excuse, oh loyal and trusting wife? 11 years of marriage, and she thinks I'm capable of flesh and blood murder. There's a lesson in that for you, Clifford. Come, uncuff yourself. Death Trap is promising, but it's not that promising.
I'm glad it isn't.
I think your best invention so far was the name Marietta Konofsky. That was lovely. I congratulate you.
Thank you.
I can see the sweat on her forearms after the basketball game. Mrs. Beecham's eye shade, I thought, was a bit much.
I thought it was the kind of convincing detail you told us to try for. Are you sure this is the right key?
Gods, Houdini opened those in a milk can under 11 feet of water. Do you mean to say...
Oh, Sidney! Sidney, stop it!
Stay away!
Oh, my God, stop it! Stop it! Oh, my God. Right on the rug, 1 point for neatness. Your heart seems to have taken it. Barely?
We'll give it a rest after the opening on the Riviera. We'll have a new housekeeper again. housekeeper, and you can take things easy. And another car, a goddamn Rolls.
We're going to be arrested.
A young would-be playwright walks away from a house-sitting job. The police won't even bother to yawn.
Leaving his clothes and his typewriter.
Why not? Who can figure young people these days? Especially would-be writers. Maybe he realized he wouldn't be and ran off to preach ecology or join the Reverend Sun Myung Moon. Maybe his house got broken into and this poor little Smith Corona stolen.
What are you going to do with him?
Bury him. Behind the garage. No, vegetable patch. Easier digging. Take a brandy or something. I'm gonna be a winner again. All our dear friends will see you living off my money. Picture their confusion. Full moon, all right? I hope this isn't gonna become a monthly practice. Would you mind helping me carry him? Well, it's been done, Myra. I don't see any point in my getting a hernia. Good girl. Thank God he wasn't the fat one. Make mine a double. I got myself a bit of a chill. Not to mention incipient blisters, aching arms, and small devils poking pitchforks into what I believe is my little bagel. The murderous child, I had Dr. Monheim bury Teddy in 45 minutes. Future, I'll know better. Well, we're out one hearthrug, but I saw some nice ones in the Yield House the other day. I have the feeling you're about to deliver a speech. Would you mind holding off while I poured my own brandy and sat down?
I had intended to. I've learned something in 11 years of melodrama.
Good girl. Ooh. Go.
I would be very happy living on your money. But I don't relish the thought of living on his. I've tried to understand how you could do it, bearing in mind your disappointments and your embarrassment or our financial situation, but I can't. And how will you be able to feel like a winner when we both know it's his play? I can't understand that either. You're alien to me, Sidney. And it can't only be since 5 o'clock this afternoon. You must have always been a very different person than I thought you were. Now, I don't think the police are going to be as unconcerned as you do, and I certainly don't want anything to look suspicious if they should come to question us.
How will they? He vanished from Milford. This is Westport.
They'll check into his past associations. Certainly he got our address from the university, even if he did lie about the phone number.
If they come, I'll simply say he wrote me a twerpy little letter asking for advice, and I answered it. Or maybe I just threw it away.
In a month or so, if we haven't been arrested, I want you to leave. We'll have a few arguments in people's living rooms, little tips about money. You can write them for us. And then you move out. Oh, I wish you could take the vegetable patch with you. But since you can't, you buy it from me. Before the Rolls Royce, and before you go to the Riviera, you'll buy the vegetable patch, and the house, and the whole 9.2 acres. We'll get Buck Raymond or Maury Escher to set a fair price.
Darling, you've had a shocking and
Oh,
painful...
get away from me.
You've had a shocking and painful experience, and so have I. I'm terrified that I'll be caught, and I'm absolutely guilt-stricken that I was insane enough to do it. I'm going to give half the money to the New Dramatists League, I swear I am. Look, this isn't the time to talk about anything. In a few days, when we're both ourselves again, things will look much cheerier.
You are yourself, right now. And so am I. In a few days, they'll be... Go ahead. He wrote me a twerpy little letter, officer.
Hey, it's Lottie and Ralph come to yammer about the movie.
It's probably Helga Tendorf.
Don't be silly. Lottie and Ralph, damn them. We've got to let them in. Can you face them? Maybe you should go upstairs and I'll tell them you're...
No, I'll stay right here. But you worry that I'll fall apart.
Coming! Who is it?
I am your neighbor in House of McBain. Please, will you let me come in? It's most urgent I speak to you. I called the information, but the lady will not give me your number. Please, will you let me come in? I am friend of Paul Wyman. It is most urgent.
Come in.
I apologize for so late I come, but you will forgive when I make the explaining. Yeah. Yeah, it's room I see. Beams. And window like so. And the pain. Oh, such pain. Pain. Pain.
Well, we're neither of us up to snuff today.
It's just as I see them. Why keep you such pain-covered things?
Oh, they're antiques and souvenirs from plays. I'm a playwright.
Yeah. Sidney Brule. Paul Wyman tells me we make together book.
My wife, Myra.
How do you do?
What gives you such pain, dear lady?
Oh, nothing. I'm fine.
No. Something you see pains you.
Oh.
Paul tells you of me. I am Helga Tendorf. I am psychic.
Yes, he did. As a matter of fact, we were going to invite you over.
For hours now. I feel the pain from here. And more than pain, since 8:30, when begins the Merv Griffin show. I am on it next week. You will watch.
Yes, certainly. Make a note of it, Myra.
Thursday night, Peter Hercules also. What they want him for, I do not know. I called the information, but the lady will not give me your number. I called Paul, but he is not at home. He is in room with red walls, eating with chopsticks. I call the information again. I say, it's urgent. You must tell me number. I am Helga Tendorp. I am psychic. She say, guess number. I try, but only I see the 226, which is everybody, yeah? So I come here now, because pain gets worse, and more than pain.
More than pain?
Yeah, there's something else here. Something frightening. No, it will only interfere.
What will?
The drink you would give me. Must keep unclouded the head. Never drink. Only when images become too many, then I get drunk. Was used many times by beautiful dark-haired woman, but only pretending.
Well, that's amazing. It's my play, The Murder Game, and it was used every night by a beautiful dark-haired actress.
Will be used again by another woman, not in play, but because of play. Because of play. Another woman uses this knife. You should put away these things.
Yes, I will. In a month or two, I'll sell the whole collection. I'm tired of them anyway.
Maybe too late. I do not enjoy to make unhappy people, but I must speak when I see something, yeah?
Well, I don't know, actually. You could keep quiet. I mean, you're supposed to be resting, aren't you? Not in your own country.
Must speak. It's for God gives gift. Is danger here? Much danger? To you? And to you? Is death in this room something that invites death? That carries death? Death drop! This is word in English, death trap. Yes.
It's the title of a play I'm working on. That's where you got it from. There's a death in the play. I'm sure that's what you're responding to. I've been working here at the desk.
Maybe. But feels like real death.
Well, I try to make it as convincing as possible. Act out everything out as I write it.
Man in boots. Young man, here in this room. He attacks you.
He attacks me?
With one of those. Comes his friend. To help you. To work with you. But attacks. There's much confusion here.
Well, I'll certainly be on the lookout for a young man in boots. We're going to be Japanese from now on. Shoes off at the door.
He sits in this room, and he talks to Diane.
There's a Diane in the play.
And two other people. Smith and Coroner. No! One person. Small. Black. Is in play a black man, Smith Coroner.
Never heard the name before.
His very confusing image is gone now. Nothing else comes.
Well, that was a most impressive demonstration. The way you picked up the title of the play and Diane and the dagger business, really awesome.
Remember for that, I tell you. Dagger is used again by woman because of play, and man in boots attacks you. Of these two things I am certain. All else is confusing. Pain is less now, yeah?
Oh, yes. Oh, there really wasn't any.
Well, what a marvelous gift. I must confess, I've been skeptical of ESP, but you've convinced me it's genuine.
Oh, yes, it's genuine. And sometimes not happy gift to be owner of.
Have you always had it?
Since I was child. Here, scoot. Never could I enjoy a game of hide and go seek. Was too easy, you understand? And parents did not wrap Christmas presents. Why, wasting paper? And later, in my teenagers, walking with boys. Such images.
Won't you have that drink now? I'd like very much to talk with you.
Oh, no, thank you. I must go back to house. You will come take dinner with me sometime. I will tell you all of my life. Would make very good play. When child, you are living in large house with yellow shutters, yeah?
That's right, yes.
Always, when mood is full, I am in top form. Good night.
Good night.
Be careful. You also.
I intend to. No boots allowed. Good night.
Remember Thursday night. Merv Griffin show.
Well, if that's the best she can do, there's nothing to worry about.
You're not afraid of the danger she saw?
Not especially.
We're going to be arrested!
I don't see how. If the police do come in, and if they do bring her into it, which seems highly unlikely, well, what of it? She'll have them combing the tri-state area for a small black boy with 2 spools of ribbon, one here, going through his mouth.
She saw him sitting here. She heard him speaking.
But she had the main point backwards. You'll see, there's nothing to worry about. In the morning, I'll boil that thing or throw it in the garbage, and in a few days, it'll all be behind us. I couldn't help myself, Myra. I saw that play going out into the world, and him sitting there so young, so lucky. Please don't decide yet about kicking the old boy out. And please, I beg of you, don't entertain thoughts of using that dagger. Just a joke. Though if we do get another housekeeper, I'll want her to have terrifically good references.
Sell the collection.
Yeah, probably I should. I will. Not right away, though. It would look too suspicious. Amazing, isn't it? 18 years, and Tanya's aura still permeates it.
Put it away somewhere.
Exit dagger into desk.
No. Part of me was hoping you would do it. At the same time that I was terrified that you would, part of me was hoping. I saw the money, too. And your name.
You tried to stop me. You did your best. It was my idea and mine only. If anything should go wrong, there must never be any confusion whatsoever on that point. nothing will go wrong. In a few weeks, we'll be celebrating leading producer Option's new city rule thriller, successful playwrights at mid-envy. Let's lock up and turn in. Is it possible that murder could be an aphrodisiac? What a blow that would be to the importers of ginseng root and ground rhinoceros horn. Not to mention the departments of health at...
No, please. He couldn't help himself. I tried to stop him. I tried to stop him. Really?
She's dead. I'm positive.
Oh.
It worked.
How could it not? She's had minor ones over much less. Oh, I've got news for you. Styrofoam hurts. You use it a hell of a lot harder than you did in the motel.
The added adrenaline of the actual performance. You didn't make the strangling a jolly experience. Hey, how about that Helga 10 Dorp, huh? I nearly had a heart attack myself out there.
Same here.
Well, spooky, the way she saw I was going to attack you.
She was a little off base, though. She had you doing it with one of the weapons.
Yeah, that must have been the garrote getting mixed in.
Yeah, this very confusing image. Side of your nose. Actually, it's just as well she came by. Now she'll be telling everyone she felt the physical pain of the oncoming heart attack. Every little bit helps. I've been telling people for days that Myra was under the weather. Not that any supporting evidence is needed, really.
I better get my things in.
No hurry. I'm not going to call a doctor for a few minutes yet. But we don't want them working any miracles of resuscitation, do we?
What if Madame Tendorp comes back?
Well, I don't see why she would. The pain has stopped, hasn't it?
Yes, I hadn't thought of that.
But don't move around too much or you're shedding dirt. I bet you were glad to hear my exit dagger line.
Was that for my benefit?
Of course. I was going to suggest putting it away if she didn't. I was afraid the prediction might have made you uneasy. I had visions of you herring off into the woods, leaving me with a live, white, imaginary corpse. And no surefire, can't-miss thriller to justify the one to the other.
I'd never have done that.
Well, I just wanted to relieve any possible anxiety. I don't think I should burn these yet. It'd take too long.
Why burn them at all? They're just old manuscripts.
That's true. We could cut them up and use the backs for scrap. That's so chintzy, though. What the hell? I'll just say I was cleaning out my files when the Grim Reaper struck.
The closer you can stay to the truth, the better off you are.
You're a fount of homey wisdom, Clippy boy. Farewell, Death Trap. Would you were the genuine article.
We can put my desk right here.
No, I got a surprise for you.
Well, let me guess. I work in the maid's room?
Would I do that to you? You'll be working right here in the handsomely converted stable as promised.
Then what's the surprise?
You'll see. After the obsequies. I hope you won't mind Zenobia tearing along at full speed. I really am going to do something on ESP. That was a most impressive demonstration, despite the mistakes.
Yeah, I'm ready to get to work, too.
The thing you mentioned at the seminar?
No. I've got a better idea. Last week, when I was cleaning out my desk, I suddenly realized that there's a play there, in a typical urban welfare office.
A thriller.
No. The truth is, I began to lose interest in thrillers. I want to try something more honest, more relevant.
Even though you use those words, I'm going to let you stay. Go get your things. I'm going to call the doctor.
Right.
Hello, is he there? City Brule, B-R-U-H-L. Would you have him call me right away? As soon as possible. It's urgent. My wife's had a heart attack. No, I'm afraid there's no use in that. 226-3049.
I left the weights for tomorrow, and the typewriter.
Ah, yes, little Mr. Golina.
That was funny, wasn't it? On his way?
Answering service.
Wouldn't you know? Well, see you later. How long do you think it'll be?
A couple of hours at least. I may have to go with her, I don't know.
Oh. Well. Ciao.
Ciao. Oh, Cliff? The floor creaks badly up there, so do a quick wash up and get into bed and stay there, okay?
I'll buy that.
Hello? Yes, a bad one. I gave her mouth-to-mouth resuscitation for 10 or 15 minutes, but it was no use. There was nothing. She's been under the weather the last few days. I wanted to call you, but she wouldn't let me. She said it was only... Must have been quite a welfare office.
It was. Everyone had a poignant story. They're creating the play of their own accord.
No notes, no outline.
This isn't a thriller, Sidney. It's not dependent on intricate plotting and contrived theatrics. These are real people. All I'm doing is bringing them on and letting them spill out their dreams and frustrations, their anger at the bureaucracy.
Joe Pat will have a messenger at the door any minute.
I was thinking of him as a possible producer. Do you know him?
Slightly.
Great.
Let me see a few pages.
Well, sure, if you'd like to. But I'd really rather wait till the draft is done. Give you the whole thing in one glorious bundle. Would you mind?
Oh, of course not. What's another hour or so?
It's gonna take 3 or 4 weeks, I think.
You'll have a whole trilogy by then.
Nothing doing.
I'm thinking.
Why don't you invite her over? Pandora. Talking with her might spark something.
Do you think we should risk having her on the premises?
Well, maybe not when the moon is full, but any other time, why not? Look at the eggs she laid on the Griffin show.
Well, she got rattled when Peter Kirkness described all her husbands in such detail. Belle Forrester called before he came down. Wanted to know if she could bring over a casserole or sew a button. I told her we were managing just fine, thank you. Don't. We don't want to break the flow, do we? Ah, Porter, good to see you. Come on in.
How are you today?
Doing fairly well, thanks.
A couple of things I'd like to talk over with you. Am I disturbing you?
No, not at all. Glad for the chance to take a break. How come you're not in the city?
I have to be in New Haven by noon. Secretary?
Yes.
My, what a fast typist.
He is, isn't he? Come meet him. Clifford? This is Clifford Anderson. And this is my friend Porter Milgram.
How do you do? How do you do, sir?
I would say my attorney, but then he'd bill me.
I'm going to anyway. This is a business call. Partly, at least.
Clifford was at the seminar last summer. He asked me then about a secretarial position. And when Myra passed on, I realized I need someone to lend a hand. So I called Clifford. The next day, here he was. Tab typewriter, will travel.
That was very good of you.
It's a privilege to be of help to someone like Mr. Brew.
Oh, look at this. My goodness, what a beauty.
Partner's desk.
Yes, where did you find it?
Up in Wilson. I just chanced on it the other day. It made more sense than cluttering up the place with 2 single ones.
Must have cost a pretty penny.
That's deductible.
Yes, they can't very well quibble over a writer's desk, can they? Wait till Elizabeth sees this.
How is she?
Fine.
The girls?
Couldn't be better. Kathy loves Vassar.
And vice versa, I'm sure. Sit down.
Thank you.
Shall I go get the groceries now? Then you and Mr. Milgram can talk in private.
Oh, would you mind?
I have to do it sometime before dinner. Might as well.
All right, I'll be down in a second, Porter.
Oh, take your time. I haven't started the clock yet. I love this room.
Isn't it nice? It's a pleasure working here.
He's looking very well.
Well, yes, he's picked up quite a bit in the past few days. It was pretty bad the first week. He was crying every night. I could hear him plainly. And he was drinking heavily.
Uh-huh.
He's picking up, though. Work is a great solace to him.
Yes, I'm sure it must be. I've always envied my writer clients on that account. I tried to play once.
Oh?
Yes, about the Supreme Court justice I most admire, but I'm afraid even the title was a problem. Frankfurter.
Plenty enough?
Oh, too much. We only need salad things and milk. I'm going to get some.
I'll pick up some yogurt while you're there. Anything but prune.
Okay. You're not in the driveway, are you?
No, I'm parked over on the side.
Well,
See you later, or
Nice meeting you, whichever it turns out to be.
I'm sure we'll be seeing each other again. Pleasant young fellow.
yes.
Good looking, too.
Yes. Do you think he's gay? Homosexual.
I know what gay means, Sidney. Elizabeth told me years ago. No, he didn't strike me that way.
I had a sneaking suspicion he might be. But as long as he does his job, I guess it's none of my business, is it?
Well, in essence, he's a domestic employee. I think under such circumstances, his sexual preference might be a legitimate matter of concern.
Well, I wasn't asking for a legal opinion, really. I was just saying it was none of my business.
Oh, in that case, no, it isn't.
Besides, people would talk if I hired a female secretary, wouldn't they?
If she were under 80.
That's what I thought. So I called Clifford.
I'm glad to see you looking so well, Sidney. That's the main reason I've come. I was delegated by Elizabeth and the Wessons and the Harveys. That young man has been discouraging all callers. We were afraid you might be in a little worse shape than he was letting on, but obviously that is not the case.
No, I'm not ready for socializing, but I'm coming along. The work is a great solace.
I'm sure it must be. What do you want to?
The play about ESP. Helga Fendorf is in the McBain cottage, you know.
Yes, I do. Is it true what everybody's been saying, that she... Do you mind talking about this?
No, not at all.
Is it true that she actually pointed to the spot on the floor where Myra was going to fall?
No. No. Nothing like that. Nothing at all like that. She just came in here and said that there is pain, there is great pain in this lady's chest. And Myra said, well, there's slight pain actually. And she said, still, this is your history. You should see a doctor. Which is what I've been saying to Myra all along.
It's uncanny being able to sense things that way. I should think you'd make a very fine thriller out of the subject by now.
Ah, it's coming along. Ah, business time.
Yes. Now, first item on the agenda is your will. Now that Myra's gone, you should look it over. As it stands now, if anything should happen to you, your cousins in Vancouver will inherit. You want to leave it that way?
I don't know. I'll think about it.
Do. Don't put it off. And here's the second item. It's only an approximation. I don't have any up-to-date appraisals on the real estate yet, but that's roughly what you can expect, give or take a few thousand.
I didn't realize there was this much.
Well, then Myra was keeping a few secrets. She knew. Her records are in apple pie order.
How much of this is the government going to grab?
Not too much, really. First $250,000 of that is exempt from any federal tax, and the state tax, which starts at $50,000, is only a few percent. There's one more point, Sidney. I was speaking to Morey Escher at the planning board meeting. He said you spoke to him about selling off a few acres.
Well, I don't know that I will now.
You can. Not yet, anyway. I'll have to wait till the will goes through probate first.
Oh, I did that. I just asked him how much he thought I could get for it.
Oh, well, then he was jumping the gun, not you. I just wanted to be sure that you were clear on that point. In the business, you've gotten up cheap.
Yes, I'm lucky.
What's the procedure? You dictate, he types.
No, I do my own typing. He does a finished draft, of course, and he types the letters.
Is that what he was working on before, the letters?
No, a play of his own.
Oh, the seminar, of course.
Yeah, started it yesterday, and we'll probably finish it tomorrow.
I hope he's not stealing your ESP idea. Have you discussed it with him?
Why do you say that?
He locked what he was working on into his drawer, unobtrusively, but I noticed. But then again, perhaps he's afraid you'll steal his idea.
Hardly. Life at a welfare office, the dreams and frustrations of half a dozen people you'd just as soon not spend an evening with.
He's worked in a welfare office?
Where it came from.
Well, it might simply be force of habit. People in large offices often lock their desks.
Unobtrusively? Quite the reverse, I think. Hey, look everybody, I'm locking my desk.
It might simply be his way of doing things. Look, I'm sorry if I've disturbed you. Suspicious legal mind. He's probably exactly what he seems. An honest, helpful young man, completely trustworthy.
Yes. Probably.
Well, I'd better get a move on if I'm going to be in New Haven by noon. Trustees luncheon at Old Eli, you know.
Ah,
Have you gotten a check from the insurance company yet?
not yet.
I'll call them first thing in the morning.
I appreciate that.
Will you come have dinner with us?
In a week or so, I'll be ready to face the world again.
Good enough. Take care of yourself, Sidney.
You too. Give my love to Elizabeth.
I will. And the girls.
you old world craftsman. Jesus Christmas!
Feces.
Well, that was quick.
Well, we went to Gibson's.
Here, I'll put it away. Let me.
Well, that's all right, I don't mind.
No, you shop. I'll put it away. Change is in the bowl.
The asparagus is supposed to be organic.
Oh, Cliff, would you give me a hand here? Where are you? Where are you?
Wait!
Oh, there you are. I didn't think you heard, so I came around. Need those Olympic fingers.
Beer now?
I had a sudden mad craving, as in the commercials. I shook it up a bit, sorry.
Now, you can use an opener on those things, you know.
Really?
Sure, doesn't it say so?
What do they expect to read these? Roaches? So you've lost your interest in thrillers. No taste for the intricate plotting, the glib, superficial analysis. Want to do something real and meaningful, socially relevant.
Cut it out, will you? Your ideal'll start coming.
Possibly.
But just relax and don't try to bug me, okay? It'll come.
Death Trap, a thriller in 2 acts. Characters: Julian Crane, Doris Crane, Willard Peterson, Inga Van Brunk. The action takes place in Julian Crane's study in the Crane home in
You
West
have
Warwick,
one hell of a nerve stealing my private...
Setting! Julian Crane's study is a handsomely converted stable grafted onto an authentic colonial house. Sliding doors upstage center open into a foyer in which is the house's front door, entrances to the living room and kitchen, and a stairway to the 2nd floor. French doors, upstage right, open onto a shrubbery-flanked patio. Downstage left, a fieldstone fireplace, practical to the extent that paper can be burned in it. The furnishings are tastefully chosen antiques. A few chairs and occasional pieces. A buffet downstage right with, a whole of liquor, decanters. And the focus of the room, Julian's desk. You remember Julian's desk, don't you? The one he worked at before he invited crazy Willard Peterson into his home?
Come on, Sid.
Pattern draperies hang at the French doors. The room is decorated with framed theatrical posters. Unlike these, which are window cars, not posters, and a collection of guns, maces, handcuffs, broadswords, and battle axes. Several of which are going to make use of any minute now.
That's it? You're not going to act out the 11 pages? Would you like me to explain?
What's to explain? You're a lunatic with a death wish. Freud covered it thoroughly.
I have exactly the same wish you have. The success wish.
This is going to bring you success.
It hit me that night. Remember I put in that extra speech while you were looking for the key? It can be a terrific thriller.
With someone like me and someone like you, gives someone like Myra a fatal heart attack.
Yes, at the end of Act 1.
Oh, and what, pray tell, is your definition of success? Being gangbanged in the shower room at the state penitentiary?
But I knew you would have reservations about it. That's why my first instinct was to say it wasn't even a thriller. Well, I haven't enjoyed putting you on, Sidney. I'm glad it's out in the open.
You knew I would have reservations?
Well, you do, don't you?
The House Madman has written a play that's going to send us both to prison.
I won't!
I'm standing here terrified, petrified, horrified, stupefied, crapping my pants. And he calls that having reservations. I'm not going to use one of those on you. I'm going to beat you to death with Roget's thesaurus.
There is no possible way for anyone to prove what did or did not cause Myra's heart attack.
Oh,
But look, if I could change things, I would, but I can't. It has to be a playwright. Who else can pretend to receive a finished piece of work that can make a ton of money?
a novelist, like a Why am I even discussing
A
this?
surefire smash hit symphony? No. And would a novelist or a composer know where to get a garrote that squirts blood? Or how to stage convincing murder? And it has to be a playwright who writes thrillers. Because Arthur Miller probably has old sample cases hanging on his wall. Well, I suppose I can make it Wilton instead of Westport.
Why make it anywhere? Why make it?
It's there, Sidney.
That's mountains, not plays. Plays aren't there until some asshole writes them.
Stop and think for a minute, will you? Just think. About that night. Look, try to see it all from an audience's point of view. Everything we did to convince Myra that she was seeing a real murder would have exactly the same effect on them. Weren't we giving a play? Didn't we write it, rehearse it? Wasn't she our audience? Scene 1. Julian tells Doris about this terrific play that's come in the mail. He jokes about killing for it, and then calls up Willard and invites him over, getting him to bring the original copy. Audience thinks exactly what Doris thinks. Julian might kill Willard. Scene 2. Everything that happened from the moment we came through that door. All the little ups and downs we put in to make it ring true. I'm expecting a telephone call bit. Well, tightened up, naturally. And then the strangling, which scares the audience as much as it does Doris.
No wonder you didn't need an outline.
It's all up here. Every bit of it. Scene 3. Inga Van Bronk. A few laughs, right? Can't hurt. Then Julian and Doris get ready to go upstairs. It looks as though the act is going to kind of so close. And then, pow! In comes Willard out of the grave and seeking vengeance. Ha 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 ha! Shock? Surprise? Doris has her heart attack. Julian gets up from the fake beating. And the audience realizes that Julian and Willard are in cahoots. That there isn't any surefire thriller that Willard is moving in. The curtain is Julian burning the manuscripts. Or calling the doctor, I'm not sure which. And be honest about it. Isn't that a surefire first act?
Oh, yes, and what an intermission. 20 years to life.
Nobody can prove it really happened. They can't. How can they?
And what do you say to the man from the Times when he comes and says, didn't you used to work for Sidney Brule? And didn't his wife have a fatal heart attack right around the time you came there?
No comment.
Oh, my God.
Look, I know it's going to be a little sticky, but, well, these days, everybody's opening up about everything, right? In print, on TV. And why not on stage, as long as it can't be proved? I've given it some serious thought, Sidney. And I honestly think it's going to help the play. Give it an added dimension of intriguing gossip.
Oh, I'm sure you're right. I can see the little box in the New York Magazine right now. Tongues are wagging about interesting similarities between events in the new play Death Trap and the private lives of its author, Clifford Anderson, and his employer, Sidney Brule, committed suicide on opening night. When queried, Mr. Anderson said no comment. I have a comment, Cliff. No, absolutely, definitely no. I have a name and a reputation, tattered to be sure, but still valid for dinner invitations, house seats, and the conducting of summer seminars. I want to live out my days as author of the murder game, not spag who knocked off his wife. Why, look, a fieldstone fireplace. Let's see if it's practical to the extent that paper can be burned.
Don't you dare! You burn that and I go right out of here and write it someplace else. I'll get a house-sitting job. Give it to me. Give it, Sidney. I helped you kill for the chance to become what I want to be. You're not going to take that away from me. I was hoping that when I showed you the finished draft that you would be impressed enough to get over your Angel Street uptightness and pitch in. I guess we can forget about that.
A collaboration?
Well, it's mostly your idea, isn't it? I'm not pretending it's all my baby. And I know that scene 1 is coming out a little heavy and stilted. I hoped we could be a team. Brule and Anderson.
Rogers and Heartless.
They see, I could never come up with something like that.
I'm sorry, I'm not willing to collaborate in my public humiliation.
Next season's hit. Don't say I didn't ask. I think maybe I better move out anyway.
Why?
Well, when Helga Ten Dorp said that a woman was going to use that dagger because of a play, maybe she wasn't that far off target.
Don't be silly. I love you. I wouldn't dream of harming you. Besides, you'd break my neck.
Goddamn right I would.
So don't talk about leaving.
I don't know. I'm not going to feel comfortable with you being unhappy about this.
I'll whistle a lot.
Oh.
Maybe I am being a little old-fashioned and uptight.
Well, you are these days. Jesus, who cares about anything?
I certainly could use half the royalties of a good solid hit
I think there's a movie in it, too.
Porter just gave me the figures on Mara's estate. It's even less than I thought. $22,000, and that's half of that goes in taxes. There's the house and the land, of course, but I can't sell off any acreage until the will goes through probate, and Porter says that may take 2 or 3 years. Insurance money isn't all that much.
The offer is still open.
You know, it occurred to me that afternoon that the play in the mail thing would be a really good opening scene.
Well, it's your idea, Sidney. All I did was help with a few of the details. Pretty neat the way you managed it.
I tried breaking in. The goddamn thing's a fortress. Porter noticed you locking up. I was afraid you were doing something on ESP.
And I thought I was being so inconspicuous.
He's sharp. Dull, but sharp. Oh, what the hell, I'll do it. Let people talk, I'll blush all the way to the bank.
You mean it?
Brule and Anderson.
Great! We'll make it Wilton instead of Westport.
To hell with it, make it Westport.
Oh. Jesus, just think. Me, Clifford Anderson, collaborating with Sidney Brule.
That's from Act 1.
Yeah. Act 2 is going to be a problem.
How so?
Well, we've got the murder in Act 1. 2 murders in effect. Act 2 is liable to be a letdown.
Not necessarily.
Well, bring in a detective, of course. The 5th character? Yeah, I was thinking of the Connecticut version of the one in Dial M.
Inspector Hubbard.
Yeah. And Inga Van Bronk ought to come in again. A good comic character like that. It would be foolish not to make the most of her.
You go on drafting Act 1. Let me do some thinking about Act 2.
Come in! Mr. Brule isn't here right now.
You are?
The secretary, Clifford Anderson.
I am Helga Tendorf. I am psychic.
Yes, I know. Mr. Brule's told me all about you. I understand you predicted his wife's death.
Yeah. Was much pain right here. Very sad. Such a nice lady. This room is... He is well, Mr. Brule.
Oh, yes, fine. He just went out to dinner. First time since... Well, he said he'd be back by 10. It's about 1:15 now.
Will be big storm. Much wind and rain, lightning and thunder. Trees will fall.
Are you sure?
Yeah, was on radio. I come to borrow candles. None in house. You have?
I don't know. I haven't noticed any, but I'm sure there must be some. I'll go have a look. Why don't you sit down?
Thank you. You have boots.
Oh, yes. Well, everybody does these days. They're very comfortable.
You are for a long time secretary to Mr. Brule?
No. Only for about 3 weeks. Ever since Mrs. Brule died. I'll go look for those candles.
Oh, what a bore.
Oh, hello, Mr. Brule. Mrs. Tendorf is here.
Hello.
Good evening, Mr. Brule.
How are you?
Well,
Did you get my note?
yeah, thank you.
Yours was most kind, and the flowers.
Do you have any candles? There's a storm brewing and Mrs. Tendorf would like to borrow some.
I think there's a box of them somewhere. Myra kept them over the refrigerator, I think. If not there, then the shelf on the landing. A blue cardboard box. I saw you on the Merv Griffin show. It wasn't a very good night, was it? What's wrong?
This man I warn you of. Man in boots who attacks you.
Oh my gosh. You know, in the turmoil surrounding Myra's death, I completely forgot about that warning.
You see, candles are not why I come. Have many candles. But tonight, I feel here danger again. And in this room is feeling very strong. Should not have him here.
You know, I made up my mind just tonight to dismiss him. I was discussing with my lawyer. I became uneasy about it.
Oh! It is Smith Corona.
Yeah, yes.
But naturally, Corona, not Corona. This is why I see on black man's face. Where the yacht? You must send away this man tonight.
I was going to give him his notice at any rate, and I certainly won't put it off now that you come and warn me about him. You're positive you saw him attacking me.
Was image like TV. So sharp.
Come in, Clifford.
Thank you. I take two.
You're welcome to take more.
No, two are enough.
It's really blowing up out there.
Yeah, sometimes they are right with their predictions. I should stay.
No need to. I hope you beat the rain.
Yeah, I go through wood. It's less to walk. Good night.
Good night.
It's pitch black out there. Will you be able to find your way?
Yeah. I have torch.
Good night. What's wrong?
My daughter is pregnant. Oh, so many years they try, so many doctors they go to, and now at last they make me grandmother. Gedank. I must call and tell them.
boots to a taxi. She noticed them just before you came in.
Yes.
Did you tell her I used a styrofoam log instead of one of the weapons?
Didn't think it quite advisable. No, I told her that you were giving me karate lessons, and we were attacking each other all over the house. The closer you stay to the truth, the better off you are.
Finished Act 1.
Did you? Your evening was better spent than mine.
I ended it with Julian on the phone.
How can I go on without her?
Well, he wants the doctor to think he's upset, doesn't he?
Well, your dialogue may be a bit Tin Pan Alley, but your timing couldn't be better. I've got Act 2 ready to go.
Terrific.
That is, I think I do. There's one or two bits of business I'm not quite sure of. We'll try them. And if they work, I'll give you the whole thing scene by scene. Full of surprises.
I can't wait to hear.
Go up and check the windows first, will you? It sounds like we're getting Hurricanes Alice through Zelda.
How many scenes are there?
3, same as Act 1. I like that kind of symmetry. They're in the final scene, back to back as it were. Willard has spilled the beans, and our Connecticut version of Inspector Hubbard has come to beard Julian in his den. Julian, quite berserk, shoots the inspector in the left arm. But there's only one bullet in the gun, so now he's trying to get to the upstage wall in order to grab a weapon and finish the job. Now, question number 1 is, can a one-armed inspector in otherwise good condition stop a two-armed, middle-aged playwright from going where he wants to go? The answer had better be no. Let's try it. Me, Julian, you, Hubbard, right about here.
Left arm out of commission.
Right. Ready?
Ready.
Now, you've got to try harder than that.
Well, that would look convincing, I think.
Not even to a theater party. Come on, give it a good try. Maybe you should be Julian.
I was afraid I would tear your shirt.
Look, darling, we're trying to become rich and famous. Let's not let a 5-year-old shirt stand in the way, okay?
Can't we just let the director and the actors work this out?
That's not the way professional playwrights operate, dum-dum. Professional playwright doesn't offer a script until he knows everything in it is playable and doable. Now, let's show him why Brule and Anderson are going to go down in theatrical history.
And look at your shirt. And mine, oh, Jesus. I scratched your neck.
I'll survive. The second bit now. Much less strenuous and very brief.
I'm glad of that.
You're Julian now, and I'm Hubbard. Go on up to the wall. Take the axe. Doesn't look natural that way.
Feels natural.
Try a different way.
It doesn't feel right this way.
All right, go back to the first way. Now put it down. On the floor. Stand very still. We have goodbyes to say. Death trap is over. We're now into theater verite. The gun from gunpoint. No blanks as at the dear old Lyceum, though. Real bullets, courtesy of the Messrs. Remington. I loaded it last night after you were asleep. I really don't want that play to be written. I know nothing can be proved, but too much will be talked about, and I'm too old, and yes, uptight, to join the Washington secretaries and the ex-lovers of ex-presidents and the happy hookers and the happily hooked in the National Bad Taste Exposition. And I honestly couldn't think of any other way to keep you from setting me up in a centrally located booth. So I had Porter check you out in Hartford. 1 or 2 blots were found on your record, precisely the ones you told me about. And Porter feels, and we discussed it this evening, that they justify the unease I've been feeling. So I came home and gave you your notice. You became abusive and violent, and Madame Tendorf's 3-week-old vision finally came to pass. Luckily, I got to the gun, which I had the license and right to use in self-defense. Beats sneaking up the vegetable patch, doesn't it? I'm truly sorry, Cliff. If you hadn't succumbed to thrilleritis malignus in what is surely one of the most acute cases on record, we might actually become the team of Brule and Anderson. As it is, we'll have to be only Brule. I'm out of dialogue. Your go.
What can I say? I'm not going to beg.
I was hoping you might promise to become a steam fitter or something.
Would you believe me?
No?
So, I'm hoping you'll take pity on a pretty face.
Oh, God, I shall miss you very much. Goodbye, Cliff.
Goodbye, Sidney. I thought a click would be anticlimactic, so I bought some blanks this morning. But I was getting the bullets for this one. Sit down, dum-dum. Sit down. Peripateia? Reversal? You talked about it the first day of the seminar. Important element of all drama. Put that down. See, the problem was, I had this terrific first act, and I couldn't think of a second act. Very frustrating. Particularly since I'm sharing bed and board with the old master plotter himself, author of The Murder Game and In for the Kill, which I consider an even more elegant construction.
Thanks, that makes 2 of us.
At present, yes. Be my guest.
You mean put them on?
Yes, that's what I mean!
What are you going to do?
Continue gloating. Through the arm of the chair. Don't play dumb. Through the arm. So, there I am with my problem. Sidney's not going to help me with it, not voluntarily. This I know from square one. Sidney uses 3 kinds of mouthwash and 4 kinds of deodorant. Not for him the whiff of scandal. But is there maybe a way I can harness that 17-jewel brain and set it to work for me all unwittingly? So I begin writing Act 1. And every time I leave my desk, I inconspicuously lock the drawer. So inconspicuously, in fact, that for a day and a half, smart Sidney doesn't even notice. The dull Porter comes in, thank God. It saves me the embarrassment of getting heavy-handed and leaving a loose page lying around.
You're a real shit, you know that?
Would you mind saying that to the microphone? So, there we are. Brule and Anderson. I write, Sidney thinks. I don't sleep much. Last night, for instance, I barely got a wink, what with all the tiptoeing that was going on. But I'll make it up next week. thank you for Act 2. No, Inspector Hubbard. Julian's lawyer is the fifth character. Scene 1. Julian finds out that Willard is writing the real death trap about Doris's murder, with changed names, naturally. He pretends he'll collaborate, but asks old Peter Pilgrim or something to check up on Willard, knowing full well that there are false and unfair charges to be found. Scene 2. Julian sets Willard up for what looked like murder in self-defense by getting him to enact bits of business for the show. That's beautiful, Sidney! The whole thing we just did, it'll play like a dream, and I never would have thought of it. I'm really in your debt. Julian shoots Willard, who's basically just an innocent kid Julian led astray.
Oh, you bet.
But the very next moment, in come Inga Van Bronk and Peter Pilgrim. She's called because she's been getting bad vibes all night. They met at Doris's funeral. Willard lives just long enough to tell the truth about himself and Julian and about Doris's murder, and then Julian shoots himself. Curtain.
No scene 3?
About what? They're both dead and the play is over.
Sounds a little unsatisfying. I'd be glad to think some more.
No, thank you. I'll manage to fill in the holes myself. And now? I'm going to pack and call a taxi. Taking whatever money I can find. Before I leave, when the cab is at the door, then I would give you the key. You'll tell everybody that you gave me my notice and that I accepted it with grace and charm. If you say I stole anything or hassle me in any way, you'll be opening up a very messy can of peas. How about that? You've got a little angel street to keep you company. Oh, maybe I'll find some rubies upstairs. See you anon.
Those were Houdinis. Hang in there, Connecticut Light and Power. Had a girl. Damn. Come on. Oh, to the police department. My name is Brule. I live out on Rabbit Hill Road. I've just shot my secretary who's coming in with an axe. That's right. And wait till you hear this part. You're gonna think I'm drunk, but I'm stone cold sober. I shot him with a crossbow. It's the only thing I could get my hands on. No, I assure you it isn't. Come out and see for yourself. Better bring flashlights, though. Yes, Bruhl. B-R-U-H-L. Sydney. How nice of you to know. His name was Clifford.
They killed Mrs. Bruhl.
Myra died of a heart attack.
They make it to happen. Pain she feels is that she sees Bruhl kill boy.
Now hold on a minute. The boy...
Quiet! Bruhl shows her play from boy. Good play. Boy comes. Bruhl kills, tight round neck to take play. She helps him carry boy out. Pain brings me. But now I am gone, and boy is from grave. Comes with log. No, please, I tried to stop. She dies.
My God! A fake murder to bring about a real one. Are you sure that's what happened? I thought it was strange, the boy stepping in on such short notice.
Was no play.
There wasn't?
But now, boy writes one. All they have done. Bruhl discovers.
I saw the boy locking his drawer.
He's afraid, Bruhl. Play will bring shame.
A play? About them killing Myra. I'll bet he was afraid.
Pretends to help. But tricks boy to take axe for play. Shoots with gun, yeah, but it's no bullet. Boy has tricked him to use to make more a play. Chains him, will go, but chains come apart.
The Houdini set.
Shoots boy with arrow on stairs.
And drags him down and places him by the axe.
Burns play.
The ashes in the fireplace.
Calls police.
And while he's speaking,
Boy pulls arrow from chest and attacks. Just as I saw 4 weeks ago.
my God, what a story! It's better than the murder game.
You are thinking it could be play.
It certainly has the feel of one, doesn't it? Everything happening in this one room, 5 characters.
Death trap.
That's a good title. I couldn't write Frankfurter, but maybe I could write Death Trap.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I see theater. Inside, much applause. Outside, long line of ticket buyers shivering in cold.
My goodness, that's encouraging.
What is my idea?
Your idea. How can you say that? It was Sydney's idea, and the boy, they lived it.
But if I not tell you, not know.
That's true. And you supplied me with a title, which I may or I may not use.
We share money, half and half.
Are you serious? I'm going to go home and work weekends and nights for months. Maybe even give up my vacation. All you've done is come in here and touch the furniture for 2 minutes. If I do indeed write this play, there's
Do
going to be
not
a few
share
changes.
money, I tell about telephones.
Telephone?
You speak through handkerchief in high voice. Say dirty words to all your friends. For shame. A man like you, important lawyer with wife and 2 daughters. No. 3 daughters to make such telephoning.
You interfering busybody. You bitch, you
Be careful!
whore!
Knife the shots! Why